have Jason and Missy here. They are in Virginia. They have 3 shops open. You guys joined the system, what, a year and a half ago?
Yeah, about that now. Yeah.
Okay. You first started with a transferred location, a resale, and then you've built your own 2 other shops from there. So we're just going to interview them and ask them some questions, hear about their story, all the awesome things they've done in their shops, and how TMAD has supported them. So I'll get started with a pretty easy question. Why don't you both tell me about your story, what you guys were doing before becoming TMAD franchisees?
Well, both of us have been, we were with McDonald's for over 30 years. We both started off as crew members and worked our way up till we were supervisors. I supervised 4 restaurants and Jason supervised 5 restaurants before we decided to leave.
And did you guys meet at McDonald's? Is that what I've
We
heard?
did.
Yes.
We did.
I love that. Jason, do you have anything to add to that?
No, it's just kind of summed it up. I mean,
Worked McDonald's all our life, pretty much.
Now it's TMAD. Next question. So I know you guys have been in restaurants for a long time. You know restaurants, but what gave you the confidence to take the leap into franchise ownership?
the lead taken. We'd been doing it long enough. We knew what it took to run a business, and we wanted to be able to do it our own, where it was more of the case that we had the ability to make more of the decisions and do what was right for the business, for the people. And so that's why we looked into franchising. We didn't want to just start our own business and create something. We wanted something that was already existing, that had a proven concept model, and kind of had the yellow brick road. All we had to do was follow it. And that's why we went with being a franchisee.
I love it.
Beautiful. All right, I'll ask the next question. What has been your most rewarding moment as a TMAD shop owner?
Most rewarding? It's got to be the probably when we did the Veterans Day at Lansdowne. We gave all the vets that day just a free bowl and a free drink. We just gave a free meal out. And it was a crazy day. It was a fun day, but we were busy. And we gave out a lot of food. And I can't tell you how many vets came up and shook our hands and thanked us for recognizing them and doing something for them, not just a small discount or a small token because I need to or I have to. It's the right. What we did was what we felt in our heart was the right thing to do. And the feedback we got for those individuals and those old timers that were coming in, that served in Vietnam and those type of things, telling their stories, it was just amazing. And what also was really great that day was all the staff rallied with us. None of them tried to request off. Everybody worked that day. Missy made it a fun day, brought in cupcakes for the crew and candy. And it was like a giant celebration. And I think the community afterwards really embraced us, but it wasn't, we didn't do it as a marketing. We did it as we felt that was the right thing to do to give back to those that have served.
Yeah,
so,
it was a fun day.
It was awesome. And the people that supported us, our team really did. They all came in the day before. We did a ton of prep. Everybody was excited to make it happen. I was proud of our team wanting to be part of that. That was a pretty awesome day.
Very cool. Yeah, that was, I remember talking with you and you guys were doing that. That was very exciting. So very cool. And that will be return customers for sure. So
Yeah.
anything else to add to that? All right, we'll go on to the next question. How did Teriyaki Madness help prepare you to take over the Virginia Beach location?
Well, that was pretty awesome. I liked the fact of coming out and doing hands-on training. It made me feel confident, and that's what I wanted to, not just on my leadership abilities, but confident that I can make a bowl. The confidence that I knew what I was talking about. And the 2 weeks was a lot. But at the time I was like, do I really need all this time doing this? I don't need repetition. I can do this. But when I got in the shop working afterwards, I was very thankful for that time. I was very thankful for the time that Brandon spent with me one-on-one and all the effort from the the shop that was out there, and it made a huge difference when I was in the shop. I knew what I was talking about. I knew what a good bowl looked like, and I knew what a bowl that shouldn't go out. And on day one, I was able to roll up my sleeves and work with the people. It wasn't me asking questions or, hey, I watched a video on this. You kind of know what you're doing, but you really haven't done one. So that was nice to be able to have that part going in to the shop.
And I'd like
Very cool.
I'd like to ask a question about that. So once you both took that shop over and it was open and operating, what did you do to increase customers coming in? What tweaks did you make to improve the shop you took over?
A lot of marketing. I'm the type that with marketing, I like to go talk to people. Not social media is great. I love social media, but I like to actually see, face to face. And we did a lot of marketing, going door to door, a lot of doctor's offices, and talking to pharmaceutical reps and everything for catering. So we did an event. We merged with what was the name of the?
Crunch Fitness.
Crunch Fitness. And we set up a tent out there. We gave out a lot of bowls, cards for them to come see us and stuff. So a lot of marketing helped.
I like that.
Before we went out into marketing, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Jason. Sorry.
Before we started the marketing part, we just made sure that the shop was ready to go, where we had the correct staffing level, the shop was clean, and that we were able to put out a bowl that you met the standard. And then that's when that was all squared away in those first few weeks, that's when we started getting out and pulling the guests in.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and the other thing I think that's very cool, Misty, that if you could touch on base here, which would be helpful too, is you don't only respond to negative guest comments, you respond to the positive, and you do some cool things there that I also really think helped with the sales there. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Absolutely. So even on DoorDash, I respond to, even if they don't make a comment and they just rate us, I definitely respond back to them so that they know that we're engaged in the restaurant. We know what's going on, and if something's wrong, we're going to fix it immediately and try to take care of them. So I respond to every comment that's made, or, on Facebook or social media, it doesn't matter. So.
Right. Absolutely love that. Cool. Anything else to add there? All right, we'll move on. How did Teriyaki Madness help support you through the real estate, design, construction, and training process for your two shops?
Well, that part in real estate, that was all brand new to us. We had no idea what to look for, what was a good space, not a good space, what was good rent, not good rent. So that really helped us out a lot, having that support and working with someone. And it felt like I felt like I was the only franchisee that you guys were working at during that period of time. When I worked with Ryan, she was very attentive to our needs. She scheduled our meetings with us, and then I had Stacy also prepping us prior to opening it, just making sure that everything was squared away. Every piece of the puzzle was taken care of, and it really made it more streamlined and simple for us. And there was no like, oh man, we should have done that. It was all taken care of prior to. That made good decisions on finding good spots, and in turn that helped us with generating good sales when we first opened those two stores, having a location that made sense. So that really helped.
Yeah, and they helped us negotiate with the landlords and everything. It was a lot of support.
And with that, so do you have any feedback or insight maybe you would give to a new TMAD franchisee that's somewhere in between, just became a franchisee and hasn't hit training yet, to help them move through that process flawlessly? or as flawlessly as possible?
Um, just stay on your tasks. When you're given, your homework, I can't tell you how many times that I would have the conversation like, we're so happy to work with you, Jason. You've taken care of everything you're supposed to do. And what it does is when I hear that feedback, it makes me feel good in one sense, but then I kind of go, ooh, someone else must not be doing that because they mentioned that. And what it does is it slows down the process. It's more follow up for the person that's trying to help you. The person that's trying to help you be successful shouldn't have to follow up on you as the operator. They should just be able to say, okay, you need to take care of these things, and when can we have these done by? And when I say, hey, I'll have them done by this time, they shouldn't have to follow up on me. And if they're having to follow up, what energy could they be spending with me on something else versus repeating the same thing or following up on the same thing multiple times, trying to get this done because it's got to get done. And you're the person that's holding the process up. So that would be the thing that I would say is just do your homework. When they ask you to get it done by a time and you commit to it, make it happen. And that'll make things, a smooth process.
I love that insight. It's very good to hear. What's the biggest thing you kind of answered a couple of these questions, but what is the biggest thing that you have done to help grow your businesses and revenue?
Well, we live by PEP, and it's people, equipment, product. And that's what we go by. And if you have those three things in place, you're going to have a good day. And if you're missing one of those things, it's going to be a difficult day. We work shoulder to shoulder with our people. Me and Missy both practice what's called shadow of the leader. We don't do things in the restaurant that we don't want our staff to do. If we don't want our staff on their cell phone, then you as the operator, if you're back there, you shouldn't be on your cell phone if that's what you want. If you're saying, look, the standard is, we want you to wear a hat. Well, if you're in the restaurant with me, you'll see me in the kitchen. I'm wearing a visor. I'm wearing a hat. I'm doing the same thing that I ask my staff to do. So there's the standard for Jason and Missy, and then everybody else has their own. So we do that. We make sure that we set goals every day in the restaurants. And little celebrations when we hit those, it's just, hey, what's the goal for today? Oh, we're going to try to do this many customers today. Or, hey, we're going to try to sell this many egg rolls today. Something to have fun, to break up the monotony of the day. And then you celebrate it, as a win. So we try to make sure that every day we have fun in the restaurants where it's work, but needless to say, it doesn't quite feel like, oh my God, I got to come to work today. And then when we give feedback in the restaurant, we always give as much positive feedback as negative. Nobody puts on a Teriyaki Madness uniform and comes into work and goes, what am I going to mess up today? Right. They don't. Our people come in, they work hard for us. They want to do a good job, and they need to hear that positive feedback. And it's not just, you did a good job today. It's very specific. Hey, you did a good job on making sure the veggies were seasoned the right way. I saw you're doing a great job with a shaker or whatever it is, very specific. So then that employee comes back the next day, they're going to make sure I'm seasoning those veggies the right way because the owner recognized that. And that's powerful.
I love that. Yeah. And then, so can you kind of tell about the culture that you guys have created within your shops now that you have all three of those open?
Well, it kind of starts at the very part with the hiring. Set clear expectations with the person that you're talking to. So then they're not walking in and expecting one thing and you're expecting something different. So there's a clear expectation at the hiring process. Make sure they're a good fit. If they're coming in the interview and if they're showing up late and they don't communicate to you, why would you expect that person to show up on time later? So, just little things like that. Clear expectations. Hey, this is who we are. This is what we want done. This is kind of the workload you're going to be in the restaurant. This is what we expect with interaction with guests and those things. And then also you talk to that employee to find out where they want to work. If you're hiring for the production area or the kitchen area and you talk to them in the interview process, and they say, well, I really like people. I want to be in service, but you don't have that position. You go, well, I don't have that spot available, but I got a spot in the kitchen. Do you want that? That's not going to be a good fit because they're going to say yes because I need something until they find something else. So little things like that. I already kind of hit on it to make sure we have fun, make it positive. Just those simple little things make a big difference.
Absolutely.
Love it. All right. I understand you believe in speed, accuracy, and customer service. Why do you think those three things are so important?
Because that's what our guests want. It's at the end of the day, that's what it all matters, right? Is what does my guest want? If they wanted it slow, then we'd move slow. If they want it fast, then we're going to move fast. You got to know who your customer is. If you get someone in there that wants to talk a little more as a guest, then make the time and talk to that person. If you got this guy that is a construction worker, hey man, I got to go. What do you got now? I don't have time to wait. Then you got to know who they are, and try to get them out and make it what they want. And anytime we look at the food, is this something I'm going to eat? Because if it's not, then why are you serving? So it goes right back to that. Is think of it as yourself. I work hard, and people work hard, and they've earned that money, and they are coming to me and using their dollars that they worked hard for. They are honoring me with that, and that's the way you got to look at it. And treat that as a reward, and treat them like they should be, because they've worked hard for their money and they should be treated right for it.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. What is the most valuable thing you've learned as a business owner since you've joined the TMAD system?
Most valuable? Wow, that's a good one. Good question, Kevin. I didn't realize there'd be so much administrative duties as a business owner. I kind of knew that I'd have some stuff to do, but setting up accounts and, following up on payrolls, or, working with an accountant, or making sure that, those type of back end processes, I didn't realize would be quite as time consuming. I figured it would just be one of those things. Hey, you do it kind of a little bit here and there, and you go in the restaurants and go have fun. And so there's a little more of that as a business owner part that I didn't realize that there would be of. I'm very fortunate to have my wife and board with me in the business. And so we kind of divide and conquer that part, because neither one of us really want to do that part. It's like, who wants to go sit in front of the computer?
Yeah, we're hands-on. We like hands-on, so.
Right.
It's nice that you guys can share the workload that you both don't love as much.
Yes.
Okay. When you decided to join the system, why did you choose TMAD over other brands? There's a lot of brands out there, and why TMAD?
Well, you know what? There is a lot of brands out there, and we couldn't find what we wanted. We actually hired a franchise recruiter, a headhunter, to help us find it. And we told us Teriyaki Madness. I was like, teriyaki what? I've never heard of this.
Yeah, we never heard of it.
And I've never heard of it. It was, but in where we're at in Virginia, there wasn't a whole lot of that here. So went and ate the food, and I was the first one to go try it. And after I ate the food, I called my wife. I said, "This is it. We're doing this." And she's like, "What? You haven't even gotten home to talk to me." I was like, "No, we're doing this. I ate the food. This is amazing. It's great. You're gonna love it." And that was the first part, was the food. Then it's an easy concept. I mean,
Very easy concept.
It's not hard at all. I mean, it's bowls of rice, veggies, and some chicken. I mean, it's not hard at all. And then it makes me feel good when I'm serving my customer. It's a food that you can feel proud of. It's a food that you pump up your chest a little bit and say, you know what, that's our restaurant. We serve that every day. We feel good about it. And then the last part is there's a very clear path to being successful. It's not, you kind of wander around and you kind of go this way and you kind of figure out, no, it's a clear path. They lay it out for you. All you have to do is follow the yellow brick road, and you'll be successful and you'll be profitable.
I love that. That's all the questions we have. Thank you so much, both Jason and Missy and Kevin, for helping me with this as well. You guys are walk-star franchisees, and it's been awesome to see you grow and build your shops and just really take control. So thank you for your time. Thank you for all you do for Teriyaki Madness, and we're excited to share this with everybody else.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. See ya.